Hi guys, so how are you today? Very quickly, I wanted to give like a pre-intro into what you're about to see. First, it's letting you know the process of what being on the radio interview looks like, what the studio looks like, and then the actual interview. And of course, I have like a post story about when I got back home and what my husband did and all that. But the best part of this episode actually is that I have something like a referral mode, right? So I spoke to the person in the video which you're about to watch to say, oh, I have other friends that are entrepreneurs and would like to come on this show. So if you happen to fall into that category, please follow what the video says, right? And if you feel that you're not interested in the video, is too long and all that, just scroll to about 20 minutes into the video, and then afterwards you see the process involved to getting you on the show, right? Don't worry, it's okay if you do not watch the video, but I will advise you, and please help my ministry watch the video, right? Okay, so that's basically the pre-intro I wanted to give before we dive right in. So shall we do this? Okay, the English is too much. Yeah, let's go. Thank you and God bless you. Amen. Hey guys, good morning. It's a beautiful day, and guess what, guys? I have a radio interview today, and I mean, so let's see how it goes, right? Don't worry, I'll be keeping you guys updated, and so stick with me. So here we are, Star FM 91.5. Thanks, Mr. Joseph.
Hey, how are you doing?
Fine, long time.
Oh, wow.
Happy New Year. Na koko mi.
So you talk about if
No,
you don't be a wise person, sir.
Eh?
You don't talk to wise person.
Why no?
You want to great head. How is your guy?
Fine, this is Mr. Joseph, guys.
How's baby?
Fine, you know say I don't go.
Eh?
You knew I have a baby.
How's daddy?
It's fine, no. It's fine. What are we talking about?
Just your
My story.
Your story.
Is this not funny, fam? Who goes for a radio interview without asking what questions the person is supposed to be asked? Well, I hope I don't fall my harps. Let's see how it goes, right? Okay, so guys, at this point, I really wanted to go to the toilet. I don't even know what was happening with my tummy, and everything was just wrong at the same time. But yeah, I had to make videos, and then, I was even feeling cold at some point. So here we go.
Formulator at Tea's Nature, a NAFDAC-approved shea butter-based beauty products company. And in 2017, Bank and Entrepreneur Africa magazine featured her as one of the top 100 Nigerian SME women. She's also a beneficiary of the Business Acceleration Bootcamp organized by the British Consul in Nigeria. She's a member of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, a beneficiary of the Women X World Bank Scholarship and the Toke Makinwa on Becoming Business Grant. She facilitated at the 2019 International Breweries Foundation Business Bootcamp, and Oluwatea is a facilitator at Thrive Masterclass. It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the studio this morning Oluwatea Shola Abiola. Sheker for you.
After studying psychology.
Wow, you are awesome.
Thank you
My
so much.
God, I'm so jealous of you.
Oh my God.
You've achieved so much. Wow. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's talk about the business that you are in. You're an entrepreneur, and you heard the talk we had. Now it's all about creative business moguls today.
Okay.
In Yoruba, today is called Ojo Aje.
Yes.
So Aje means good things coming in, business. So we need to focus on business. How did you start? Your business. Why shea butter? How did it all come together?
Okay, so thank you very much for having me.
Yay,
First of all.
for you, Oluwatea.
Okay, so I'd worked with a property development company for about 2 years, and I was living in Mowe at the time, and I was working on the island, and so I would always be the first to wake up in the morning and then the last to come back home. And so my parents were like, I don't understand what is happening. Do you want to kill yourself? How much are they paying you and all that? But I really loved the job that I was doing. And so during my NYC, I also served there partially. And I I decided to take 4 months off to say, okay, I need to take a break to then resume fully, because NYC is usually a time to relax and all that, but I was there digging in and putting in the work. And so I told my boss, I said, no problem, we love you very much, and come back when you're ready, And when my mates were applying, I didn't apply. And so when I came back after NYC was over, I said, yeah, we are restructuring and all that. In my mind, I'm like, I don't have a job, please help my life. And I came back the following month, he said the same thing. And so that's when I knew that, babe, you didn't have work, you're jobless. And so I began to think of experiences I had during childhood. And so I remember this particular experience where my sister is actually light skinned. Her skin was peeling off. And so my parents are taking her to all the different dermatologists, asking what is happening and all that, and nobody found a solution to it. And so my grandma came on this particular weekend.
It's always the grandma.
I'm telling you,
it's always the grandma. Go on.
She came to spend the weekend with us in Lagos, but she came with this very smelly substance tied in a black nylon, and as children we're like, grandma, what did you bring for us? Immediately she opened it like this, almost serious. We ran away, and but my sister being the one who needed that, used it, and within 3 days the stuff cleared, never to return again. And in my head I was like, okay, so as in my jobless state, you
had to dig deep.
I'm telling you. And I thought about it, and so I said, what were the things that made me even remember the thing? Because all I knew was there was Ori. I only knew that it worked. What were the things that made us run away as children? One, it was not seen. In fact, it was in a black nylon. It wasn't attractive. It was smelly. And so today we have shea butter in strawberry, vanilla, minty, and native berry.
You brought shea butter into the 21st century,
yes,
man. Really, to the 21st century, okay?
So that's basically what we do. Okay. And over the years, we've evolved from selling shea butter in 4 different variants to including coconut oil in our production, in our products, and we've also began to. So what we've done is to strategically position ourselves in the urban centers, because we have a working relationship with rural women where we have a two-way sustainability model such that they depend on us for a sustainable income, and we depend on them for our raw materials. And so seeing the back end of the work that we put into that process, going to visit them, training them on what to do, the quality of shea butter that we require, we've positioned ourselves in such a way that other cosmetic industries reach out to us to say, you know what, Toby, I trust your source, I see the work that you're doing, can you provide unrefined shea butter for us?
So you've become a source
to our competitors.
Wow,
exactly.
What a business model. But you are jumping the gun a little bit.
Okay,
so let's go back to the beginning again. There must have been so many hurdles for you to cross, because many people see success and then they don't see all the murky, the and all the sleepless nights, the tears, the pain, the sweat that it took to build it. So let's look at one incident that stands out in your mind when you started the business, when you decided that, okay, grandma brought Ori worked for my sister, I'm going to go into it as a business. I mean, it didn't come up overnight.
No, it didn't.
So give me one instance, one turning point instance that was so difficult that you thought this is the end. By the end of the day, it catapulted you.
Okay, so different experiences happened at the point where I didn't go back to the property development job and the work that I currently do. So I got different jobs, but they weren't really what I wanted, because one thing I actually picked from those experiences were how not to run a business, basically.
I see.
So in the midst of me searching for jobs, searching for what to do, I was able to turn it around to say, okay, what are you picking from this? It was how not to run a business and how not to be a boss. So those experiences actually shaped the fact that, okay, Toby, this is because at the time I'd already started doing it on a small scale, selling to friends and families.
Okay, so you started on a small scale. You didn't wait till you had a big budget, a large boss, and also you started small. What was your first sale? Can you remember your first sale?
Oh yes. So I would regularly start a business and advise anybody to say sell to family and friends
first.
For any reason, they will either pity you and say, this person didn't have a job, let's just sell this person and buy. And all that. So I sold first to family and friends. My family members were so supportive. my dad was the one who made the labels. My uncle sent in the jars. My aunt was like, okay, Toby, this is what you want to do with your life. Okay, take your first machine. And everybody just put in resources for me to start. And so that would actually also mean that I didn't start with zero capital. Like most people would say that, okay, you started small. All those things would have been a cost on my own part if I didn't have people to help me.
A supporting unit.
Yes. So those were the things I used to start, and then my NYC allowance was the money I used to get my first unrefined shea butter. At the time, it was 8,500 naira.
Okay.
And we moved.
Wow, from 8,500 naira, here you are today.
Yes.
For me, I want to ask Toby, since the idea is from grandma, home grandma actually have share on now that the business is a bit digitalized.
Okay, so unfortunately, my grandma passed on.
Oh.
Yes, and she didn't.
But she hasn't really passed on, though. Yes,
she left something.
Look at what she left. She left a whole future for Toby.
I'm telling you.
Amazing. So, beyond that, you had a supportive unit, and every entrepreneur we've interviewed here, they always talk about having supportive people around them, to help them out in one way or the other. Beyond that, what were the other hurdles that you had to surmount?
Okay, so one of the things I actually think about is that, so who do I want to be? I think about my future and say, who do I want to be in 10 years? Who do I want to be in 15 years? Who do I want to be in 20 years? And I would actually, because sometimes there are times when, so for example, there was a time where I bought unrefined shea butter and it was just very bad. I couldn't use it. And at that point, I was like, who send me? Let me just go and look for a job, right? But one of the things that keeps pushing me back is when I get a call from the rural women to say, Auntie, we've not heard from you in a while. How is market? And with that, I know that the business I run is not just for me and making money.
There are people depending
on me, right?
That's
so
heavy.
I'm telling you, because
one so young as you.
There are so many times I would be like, myself, I know how much I can be collecting, right? If I go to a corporate environment to get a job. But I know that if I do not stay and endure for the time being, in another 20, I know it won't always be like this. It won't always be. Okay, so the situation is different from when we started. It's different now, and I know it will still be different. So those are the things that, irrespective of the kind of hurdles that we face, I still always look back at those experiences to say, babe,
you have to just
there's no old, my dear, just move on.
Just keep moving on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're lucky today. We have our experts, our economists in the house, and he's taking a listen to everything that you have said. Sir, she mentioned so many things that you have mentioned here before. She started small. She had support. There are obstacles, but she has to keep pushing herself forward. That's the creativity and the risk-taking ability that she mentioned. Do you want to just add one or two things to what she has said?
The only thing I will add is that she needs to educate listeners about the factors limiting her growing the business too, because there is no business that is at optimal level. We always have challenges.
So what do you mean optimal level?
Optimal level, it means that if I have an acre of land now,
okay,
there are a number of tons that I should take out of it if I'm planting like cassava.
Okay.
But if I have intruders like all these people migrating across my farm, call it esme or anything, or goods or anything, they destroy the farmland. It will make me for my output to be okay to my input. In Greek, we talk of efficiency like any other business. Efficiency means input, processes, and output. Inputs are those factor inputs that I said, like the shea butter she's mentioning now. She's putting some inputs. She might be buying some materials from up country to process it to skin or all these for me. But in the process, it might have some challenges in even getting it across to Lagos.
Yes.
Assuming you are on the road now, maybe the raw material that is using for the shea butter. It's not in Lagos. Maybe somewhere in
got
Ota,
stock, maybe
or
cargo
you got
bag or
stock,
something,
hold up all these things. Police that are ready to assist you by taking.
By not assisting you.
They are assisting you now by taking out of your pocket. So all these challenges need to be identified, because you see, any business that has external risk is the most dangerous business you can do. Because external risk, you can't control it. You know, internal risk, if your staff is coming late to work, you can say, oh,
thank you very
thank
much.
you very much.
And get someone else.
Just say,
But external risk.
But external risk, whether you like it or not, you are not in control of the police. They will be on highway 24 hours. Though they are providing service, but the service now should be paid for by government. But they are taking your own money so all these challenges are always there for agriculture, and it's not limited to that too. Like this shea butter we are talking of too, there will be adulterated items. I've seen somebody who had to die one time, maybe committed suicide. What happened is that they were doing this children drugs there. Baba, I don't know.
Yes, I remember.
Those teeth something.
Yes, I remember.
Some people,
yes,
the man stays at Bagada. Some people enter the business, imitate the product, package it, use the fake product to kill some children. They lock him up. Nobody believed him. They destroy his business. So anything like all these things that deal with healthcare or health, one needs to identify the risk to become go into it. Because if you say you are doing well today, simple error can crash the business. You know how and why. Somebody can say, oh, this shea butter to Island, there is money in it. Let me imitate it. And he jump into it. The yellow ladies that have been using this thing before, for men to appreciate them, they become black. The men are now running. They will now say, oh, who is this Toby? And they would have packaged it in the name of Toby. So she needs to be very careful in that area. I'm just saying from.
No, but are there things you think about, Toby?
Yes.
These risk factors and all of that.
We call it patent imitation.
Patent imitation.
Yes, they imitate your patent. It's a
and
copyright.
In Nigeria,
it happens in books too.
A lot,
yes.
You know?
Yes. But the truth about it is that if we continue to think about the things that would go wrong, we would not stand up to do it.
That's wonderful. But at the same time, you also need to protect yourself, Sha.
Yes,
you know,
so one of the things
thinking.
we've done is to get our products NAFDAC approved.
Okay.
So there are things that I, as a business owner, can mitigate against. So for example, things like insurance against theft. If someone comes into our factory to take our items, those are the things we can actually do on our own end, right? But because the audience is wide, I won't streamline to say, okay, these are the factors in shea butter, because there are people that do services, there are people that do products.
I see.
But in the overall, I won't lie, I won't say that there are no challenges. But at the end of the day, what keeps you going? What keeps you going? What keeps you standing up again to say that irrespective patent? So will I say that because people may imitate my product, I won't do? I will still do, right?
Yes.
I won't say because.
And then you would take measures to protect yourself.
My own self.
That's what he's saying.
So those are the things that I've put in place, and I feel that every entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur should understand first that there are challenges, but you need to move beyond it and look beyond it, because at the end of the day, you need to stand up and do that thing, right?
All right, I think we can squeeze in just a few calls before we have to wrap up the entire show. Don't forget that Engineer Tukubu Monashi's training is has it been
2 weeks time. 2 weeks time. We've done the first section. Yes, I will re-advertise it today.
You know, so you need to get ready for that. But don't worry, the radio trainings will keep on. Will happen every fortnight. Every other week on the Early Rush show. So you can just quickly call 0809 222 879. We can squeeze in about 2 calls before we have to wrap up. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, hello, Barista Oluwatea.
Thank you, ma. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much, Mama.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Ma.
Our birthday girl. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Yes, sir, you're welcome. Yay! Prepare for you, Sammy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. And on this note, we have to start wrapping up. I will start with Toby. Toby, my love.
Yes,
What are your closing statements?
Okay, so like I usually say so often, it's okay to fail. Right? So
Yeah, it's okay to fail.
we live in a culture where, so for example, a child scores 90 in all the other subjects and then fails in one subject.
And
You know, the
fails
parents the parents won't look at all the ones that the child fails. They say,
Why did you fail Yoruba?
Do you understand? And so that's how we've been brought up. And so changing the narrative, because one of the things that I see that's limited a lot of people is the fear of failure. To say that, if I fail, what would happen? But people fail to realize that failure is a part of success. So whatever it is, this is not the first business that I'll run. This is not the first business that I'll attempt.
And here you are because of this share butter business. If not, we would have had to look for you and then grab you to the show.
Exactly.
Wonderful you, Oluwatea.
So yes, thank
Go
you
on,
so
my
much.
love.
It's
Go on,
really
my love.
okay to fail, pick up. It's part of, learn the things that you need to learn and move on, please.
Share for you. Now you guys are on Instagram, Abby.
Oh yes, we are.
Okay, so we just type in. What do we type in?
Okay, at TEASNATURE. I'll take that again. TEASNATURE. And then our website is www.tisnature.com.
Okay. Happy. I said I want to say happy birthday. Well done, Oluwatea. We'll check you out on. It would be great not to use smelly Ori. You know, whenever I use Ori to the studio, Joseph turns up his nose at me. So now that I've found you,
Yay.
wonderful you. Well
Thank
done.
you,
All
ma'am.
the best.
Thank you so much.
Engineer, as we go, your closing remarks.
My closing remark is that government and Nigerians should develop agriculture, because when we look at our GDP last year, when I compared GDP in about 5 sectors, it's only agric that didn't go into negative, showing that agricultural sector. Let us look at inflation. No, we'll be discussing inflation.
Yes,
There's a new concept internationally. They call it agflation. Agflation is an inflation when they studied 2 years, 2019, 2020. If you look at our inflation in 2019, food inflation, it was 14.47%. Now it's going to make people to face hunger is fundamental to living.
Yes.
Having said that, agriculture is not good for any economy, especially the economy faces stagflation like ours. We are facing unemployment rate growing, and that's the essence of people defending simple currency now, because they believe that it's engaging the youth to earn income more. But nobody is talking that let us engage the youth in other sectors like agri, because there's nothing motivating. I said the growth is 5% in food inflation between 2019 and 2020. This percentage variation is higher in favor of rising food prices. It's inflation. Inflation is a new research area in economics that people are looking into. Nobody is deceiving itself. And the only thing that can take us not to be there now is for us to have a model that will match farming, integrate farming in line with crop production and animal husbandry. What is causing conflict now is that there is no synergy between animal husbandry and farming. Everything will be upside down, and that's why people are raising risk of insecurity. And up to today, nobody has been arrested. So Nigerians can just download your product on the internet, look at it very well, package it, and throw it to the market. Put your name and label it to it. If you go to Shomolu today, if I want to label Indomie, I will label Indomie.
Okay, all right.
All those
So we need to go.
printers will be successful. But nobody will arrest those printers. Go to Mushin, copyright every time.
Okay,
You publish a book today, you
thank
see
you
it in
very
the
much,
market.
sir. Our time is up. Thank you so much for
So
being
that's the
here.
problem.
God bless you, sir, for coming.
So the thing is that we need to have patents, regulatory.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we were just going, and on our heels, we want to say happy birthday to our baby, and
We are done, guys. Time to go. Mr. Joseph, thank you so much.
No problem. We're always together.
Okay, so this is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see you guys in the break. Okay, so we're done, guys. I mean, so what was the experience like for me first? Was okay, very okay. Yeah, I was a bit frightened, right? So on my WhatsApp status, I put that I wanted to go to the toilet, and what else there was this, if I was feeling cold. But we moved. I think it was a good experience. I think that it was fun. Don't worry, guys. We survived it. Okay, so I think one of the take-homes from my lesson, from my experience today is that first, okay, because they didn't even tell me the questions, it just came spontaneously. And just the first take-home I would say is first, be yourself. Because at some point I wanted to be speaking phone, but the phone didn't quickly come. And so I just had to switch and then just make it all fun and playful. And then the other thing is that, you see, no matter what you do, people will still not appreciate the work that you do, and that's totally fine. And so I was expecting that other man would say something else. And what he said, I was just like, excuse me, I don't understand what you're saying, sir. But the truth about it also is that you don't say everything out there because you want to impress people. You don't talk about you don't try to prove a point, right? So just do your bit, say the one you can say and leave the rest. If it's like they say that you don't have anything in place, it's just okay, right? You don't need to prove your point to anybody. Just be you and stay true to yourself, right? I think that you guys will have fun watching the video, right? Apart from the turning. And yeah, I can't wait to get back home to my people, my husband and my son. And I hope you learned something. And yeah, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to get onto the radio show, please leave a comment below, or you can send me an email, right? That email is long thing. Okay, so leave a comment below. Okay, so send me an email. Yes, let's do email.
In 100 meters, turn left. Turn left.
To teasenature. Okay, teasenature@gmail.com. Teasenature, teasnature, teasenature@gmail.com. Or if you have my number, you have my WhatsApp number, just send me a DM, right? Or my Instagram or anything, just send me a DM and I'll forward your contact to Mr. Joseph, right? Okay, so I'm actually looking at where we are now. We're trying to get home. See, so there's a bit of traffic when Alausa heading back home. Right. Babe, how was my interview?
Answer yourself. So you're saying milk.
Oh yeah, I'm coming. Give me a minute.
See, this is the second time we are doing this video. The first one, my wife did not record anything. So
Oh, yeah.
I can't repeat everything I've said again.
So please, how was my interview?
You did great. You did great.
I did great.
You did amazing. Hey, young man, I'm talking to my wife.
Okay, you want me to call you? Okay. So how was my interview?
You did great, baby.
Okay, so are you going to reward me?
No.
Please reward me. Please.
Why?
Please.
Why?
Make bread and egg for us.
That's the reward you want.
Yes.
Food.
For
Man
that.
shall not live by bread alone. That's why you want to put egg inside, Abby.
Please, fried egg, scrambled egg, precisely.
Okay.
Please, now for a job well done. I not shall go there and say I was told to told you that.
You said it now. That woman that I called, he said you are speaking my daughter's language.
Yes, now.
Yeah, I didn't used to understand.
Is that what she said?
Yes, now.
Hey.
That the way you were speaking, you didn't
Do you know I didn't hear what she was saying? So, guys, let's hope that my husband will make bread and...
Please, don't put this part of the video because Brian is showing inside.
It's showing. I'll crop it.
Cannot crop it.
I
You
will
crop, you crop my son's head.
I will crop it. Okay. So let's hope that Essie will make bread and egg for us. Essie, please help us. Help our
I've
ministry.
told you, man shall not live by bread alone.
Can you see yourself?
Stop it for that.
Because you were doing it.
No.
It was after you did it, you started doing it.
For that people, that's
She's
my
my
property.
wife.
That's not your my property.
He said that was his property. You don't know that children learn by observation.
No,
Okay,
no,
babe,
it's-
please, make breakfast for us. Thank you. Please. So, a few minutes later, Essie went into the kitchen to prepare breakfast for us. Am I not blessed? Well, I'll take tomato. Tomato? Hey, look! A food. In Essie's voice, we hate it. I hope you guys had an amazing time watching my radio interview experience. And if you're yet to like, subscribe, or comment, please do so. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.